How's it going, guys? And welcome back for a new video. This right here is the 120 efficiency fusion for Pseudo Nuke. Long word, maybe we should find a shortcut for that one. But before that, this right here is the 120. It's going to be released today. Plenty of questions that we have to go over today. So let's go straight into it. The first question that I had was that how far this collection is going to go up. And I think I'm going to do all the way up to 255 and do my best all the way up to 255. And another question was how many holes are this bad boy's going to end up having? And that's a very good question, because I can kind of say that I don't know, because it's all depending on the sand compression. As you can see right now, this right here is a 120. We could probably get more holes into this bad boy right here. It's possible, but by doing so, we also need to limit the size of the sand compression, because a smaller sand compression equals to smaller holes. Well, not really smaller holes, but more holes, which is essentially what we're looking for in the Pseudo Nuke. But the only problem is that a 6 long sand compression is just not reliable in a 120 or 140 or 200 or whatever you guys might think. It's simply not reliable, and I don't think that we should stick to a 6 long sand compression throughout everything, because at 255 we would have to have the sand compression way further down to get many holes. So it's really depending on how. Is it really worth it? We could get 20 holes if we wanted to by having a small sand compression. But I don't think that we should do that, because I just don't think it's something that we should rely on to have a small sand compression throughout everything. I don't think that's going to look good. So I have a kind of a situation right here where I have to think about either do many holes and small sand compression. We're gonna have to end up having the sand compression under the cannon as well, or we should continue this series right here with just trying to get as many holes into sand compression that seems to have, you know, at the size that it needed to have. And this right here has the size that it needed to have. It's not too big. It's 8 long right now, so of course we are going to have quite a lot of sand going into it. But I think this right here looks a lot better. We might not have as many holes, but we still have holes that will annoy people and stuff like that. Actually, let me go ahead and count how many holes we have right here. So the bottom one, I don't know if we should count that one, so I'm not gonna do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 holes in this one right here. So it switches between 7 and 8. So I don't know, man. Like, it's really weird, because if we can do as many holes as we want if we wanted to, but it will require us to have a small sand compression, because smaller sand compression means more sand to filter down into the sand compression, and when we hold sand up for an X amount of time, we will be able to get TNT in between it. Trying to explain this in a better way, this shit right here fires out 16 sand per tick, or whatever, when the piston is in, and whenever it's in, the sand falls, right? And every time a sand falls right here, and this one right here, we can tick in a Pseudo, and then we have to wait for this one here. We don't really have to wait, because the time is right there, but as soon as this one goes, we can tick one more in. But the larger the sand compression is, the larger the distance between it is. So let's say that this right here is the wall. So right now we can get a TNT right there, but in between all these right here, we won't be able to get one, because this right here all activates at the same time in the sand compression. So there's no way to get a Pseudo right here, or a hole right here and a hole right here, so we get 4 holes. There's no possible way to do that, because we use order of entities to figure out when everything should go in. So this right here is pretty much what we can do. And if we lower the sand compression's size, this sand right here can be lowered, right? So now there's only this distance between it. But if we increase the sand compression, we're gonna have something that looks like that, because everything goes in. How am I going to show it? Everything goes in like this, you know. So it goes in at the same time at the bottom right there, as you see. And every time one hits the gets moving, then that's where we take it out. So it's hard to really determine, or really determine how big we want this and how many holes we want this. Small holes mean smaller sand compression, and it might be okay in the smaller cannons, but let's be honest, it's fucking AIDS to work with, as well as you can't be able to fire that many times. It's really AIDS. So let's go a little bit more into why, and kind of explain a little bit. So let's say this right here, right? This right here. This is getting fired out first. There you go. So this right here is getting stacked first, okay? Because that's the sand that gets into the sand compression first. Then we have the last sand, because this right here is a one tick, one push. We are going to see ourselves having this coming last, right? So that's because Order of Entities says whenever you activate something, whatever you activate first also stacks first, or explodes first, or do whatever. So in this case right here, our gravel will stack first and our red sand will stack last. That's just how it is. So as you can see right here, our gravel stacked first because that is what leaves the cannon itself off first. So as you can see right here, this is where our first TNT is, because all this right here is one line. Okay, all this right here is one line. I kind of fucked up. Oops. So the first TNT is right here. Then we can get another one right here, because this entire line right here is one row as well. Then the next one, which is going right here, is one row as well. As you can see right here, that's all one row. Then there's one more right here, one more right here, one more right here, one more right here, and there's kind of two right here. And because there's two right there, it's because we have too much sand in the sand compression funneling out. So we can't really match those two together exactly. So this right here is pretty much what it looks like, because we use this. I also want to show you, there's actually another way I can show you guys exactly what is going on here, if you can quickly take this away. Because we can also kind of show you in another way how all this goes on. So give me 2 seconds to set up the sand compression, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this right here might be a little bit better way to show you exactly what I mean. So I'm gonna take off that right there. This right here. Sorry about all this. I just kind of want to try to see if I can explain to you guys this a little bit better. So let's go and have a look at it. Okay, so this right here is how it's gonna look like. So this right here pretty much shows you exactly where all the TNT goes. So let's go ahead and take off the Pseudo Nuke. First TNT, as you can see, right here before it switches. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and then number 6 and number 7. And then we have number 8 up here as well, which is essentially the top. Okay, so as you can see, the Order of Entities says whenever we have a row like this, boom, then that is getting stacked before the TNT is getting stacked within it. So that also means that whenever we do this, it's going to have to stack all the sand that's falling in that row. So all this sand right here, all this gravel right here has to be stacked before we can get our first hole. Then we can get our second hole, but it has to stack all this sand here first. And this distance between these holes increase the bigger your sand compression is. Because Order of Entities, you know how everything goes. So bigger sand compression equals means that there's going to be a larger distance between each of these right here. Now we have some kind of big holes right here, so of course it doesn't really look like it's too much distance right now. But when we go further in cannons, there's going to be a very larger distance if we increase the sand compression. So there's many things to think about. I know this video has been quite long right now, but we need to set a goal. We need to decide what we're going to do. So are we going to do many holes, but also a sand compression that might need to be under the cannon or something like that? Or are we going to do a normal size sand compression with maybe 8 holes throughout the entire collection? 8 or something like that. Something, yeah, that sounds pretty well. So that's the question right now. We have to deal with ourselves. Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? And I kind of don't want to decide for you guys, because if you guys want many holes but an 8 sand compression, we can do so. But I do not prefer creating it like that, because it really doesn't look good. There might be lots of holes in the walls, but the cannon itself is going to look really 8s, which is essentially going to be a problem for us. So what's really up to you guys, what you guys want. This right here is at least 120. I'm going to release it with the sand compression and everything. But it's really up to you guys what you guys want. Are you guys fine with the amount of holes we have right here throughout the entire collection? We might be able to squeeze in another hole or something like that. Or should I just make the sand compression even smaller, and then at the end we're going to have problems, you know, at 240, 220, 220, 240 and 255 you're going to have problems. Sand compression needs to be under the ground and stuff like that. So it's going to be a huge problem at that point. As we keep up doing this right here, 8 holes, still a bitch to fucking patch, and the distance right here also means more to mine if you want to gen it. Or what should we do? So I think I'm going to leave you guys with that. This video here has been kind of long, and also kind of much talking about what we're going to do, because I don't know what you guys wanted. We could do many holes, we could also not do many holes, you know. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that. Should we do plenty of holes, or what should we do? I'm up for anything. I can make this cannon here have as many holes as I want. It's just really up to you guys if you want that small of a sand compression. Because there's no other way we can bypass this, by the way. There's no other way we can get more holes. Because everything is auto affinities, as I showed you before. So we do need a smaller sand compression if you want that. But I think I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm going to leave the download link down in the description as always, guys. And as always, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video here. And if you liked it, remember to like this video here. Comment down below if you have any suggestions, especially about this right here. Are we going to use smaller sand compression or bigger sand compressions? And as always, guys, remember to subscribe to my channel. My name is Dexter, and I'm out.